Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, of course, a brand new episode of Blitzvillage. Yes, it's finally back. I apologize that it actually did not go up last night, or last day, I guess I should say, more importantly. I tried to record this several different times, so much so that I was a little bit frustrated because I was already building, essentially, the Tony Stark room right up here, the Tony Stark lab, to a pretty good extent, and then I realized that the audio files weren't working. So I'm hoping that if you're seeing this recording, obviously everything has turned out well, and you guys are seeing a brand new episode of Blitzvillage. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things off with featuring you lovely folks and your awesome creations. So of course, don't forget, if you want to be featured on an upcoming episode of Blitzvillage, all you have to do is tweet your images at me, which is at Blitzwinger, and just tweet the pictures along with please use for Blitzvillage. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, our first image comes to us from Lumi Hazari, who sent in a Blitzbot with a pretty awesome background. I really love how you took the extra time to provide the cool background and the cool surroundings for the Blitzbot. I really, really do appreciate that. And it looks absolutely awesome sauce. So thank you so very much for that. We then move on to Christy Burgess, or maybe Burgess, who sends in a 1 million Blitzbot congratulation. That is a phenomenal build. I don't even know what that is made of. That might be redstone blocks, but it just looks absolutely incredible. I love the glow. I love that you have it set in the nighttime. Just looks phenomenal. And of course, thank you so much for the congratulations. And then last but certainly not least, we have a pretty creative take on the Blitzbot, and that is a Blitzbot hot air balloon, which is pretty awesome. And this one comes to us from Ian Thrush. Very nicely done. Thank you so very much for that submission. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, of course, let's get rocking and rolling, because today we're going to be finishing off the final room in the Avengers tower that we've assembled. I know that the A needs some work. We'll get to it eventually. I did also just this right here, where you guys were like, hey, it'd be cool if you put like a disco ball here. So I kind of tried to recreate something along those lines. It's obviously absolutely massive, but it works with our little dance floor there. So I do like that quite a bit. So nonetheless, ladies and gents, of course, let's get to work on the final level, which is the Tony Stark lab, or the Tony Stark workroom, so to speak. And I know that there were a lot of suggestions about making this like a very extensive lab, but then when I realized the scale that we're working with, it's just not going to necessarily permit us to do that. So we're going to have to kind of improvise and work within the limits that are available to us here. So essentially, I do want to try to lay out a lot of kind of hologram type things, and I thought that this looks very cool to almost look like screens, because I think that the cyan blocks kind of create a cool illusion of monitors and such. So I wanted to kind of create like this giant row of monitors across the one side of the actual build here, so that, you know, Tony could put up things onto that and have them featured and such. And actually, let's see, what if they're dual screens? I think that actually could look better, to be honest. There we go. So it's a giant kind of monitor type screen. Now, I did also want to have a little kind of workbench or work area, and I do want to make this look pretty nifty. So let's try, what if we use like, essentially, you see, I'm trying to think like Tony Stark would, obviously, which isn't particularly easy because he's obviously a fictional character and super duper cool and stuff. But nonetheless, essentially what we're trying to figure out is that I don't think you would build something that is very permanent or very stationary. I think he would have maybe one or two items that are stationary, but then even if we saw an Iron Man, remember what he would like take off the pictures, like he doesn't have a lot of permanent items. He doesn't get too attached to things in that sense. So because of that, I think it would be kind of cool if we just had this big work desk with like a bunch of holograms coming off of it, and then this would just be another kind of work area that would be almost a little bit of a mess, because I also see Tony not being particularly organized, and this is kind of his space, so nobody needs to get in here and nobody needs to be getting in his work, so to speak. So I hope that makes sense. So nonetheless, with that in mind, let's lay out a big work desk, and I want it to be kind of a weird shape, something like this, right, where we could have this going along. So this is almost kind of like the top of the work, or of the table, I should say. Then I want to see how it would look if we... Nope, I don't like that. But I do have another idea of monitors and kind of holograms. And I hope... Oh, okay, it doesn't work if we have it like this. Okay, well, then we're going to need to remove these carpets. So these are almost like the holograms that we see him utilize oftentimes in the films and such. And I think that works quite well, to be quite honest. There we are. Wabam. So we're just going to kind of create this big flow all around. And then I'd like to build out some of the holograms to be almost like away from the computer, not even touching it. So they're kind of like side monitors just floating in midair, which is really cool and kind of resembles things that we've seen in previous Marvel films. So we could have that be present as well. And maybe layer that up a little bit. There we go. And there we go. So it kind of looks like this. I know that it's... I think that could be removed. There we go. I think that's better. So that kind of works much better as an actual complete cohesive design. And then maybe he put down like a crafting table just randomly there, more so just to be utilized. Actually, I think it would look better like this. So it kind of looks more like a desk that then he just replaced apart. Like he broke this by mistake and then he just put something else in place. And I think that that works quite well. Let's see. I think a hopper could be kind of cool as well somewhere. As almost like a little smeltery unit that he would utilize when he sees fit. Like maybe he needs to make something or quickly craft something. He could have that right there. And we could put like even an anvil in the corner. Kind of old school Tony right there. And I think I wouldn't mind actually putting almost this as his workbench. So he's got like this, super duper futuristic tech, but then every now and then he'll just throw it old school and utilize some older designs and some older things and items and technologies in general in order to get the job done. And I think that that's kind of a cool little balance between Tony Stark, because we do see him kind of go through both sides of things. We have seen him before utilize very, very futuristic and crazy and fancy stuff, and then we've seen him do the opposite of that as well. So I think that's a nice little balance for him. So here I'd like to almost like layer out a couple of little outfits. And the one thing though I'd like to do, where's the armor? Is just put like some random bits of armor on it. Almost like it's things that he's kind of working on. They're not done yet and he's not even sure what they're going to turn out to be. So I think that could work really well. And again, it needs to be super messy because I think that that's how Tony would have it, like all just layered out all over the place where he's like, okay, that's something that I'm still working on. Please don't touch that, like a whole bunch of different cool things like that. Let's see. We're just going to put another one down there. And this one is going to have all three bits right there. So all kind of iron armor because, of course, he's Iron Man. So that would be fitting there. And I think that that looks pretty cool. Now, additionally to that, I think it would be kind of cool if we put some... where are they? I don't even remember. It might be in the brewing... Yep, there it is. The brewing stand. And actually, the cauldrons could go in here as well. So put some of these brewing stands because they almost look like those robotic arms that, he has helping him during the testing and such. So if we could stack these, is there any way of stacking them, I wonder? Whoops, let's see. So if we broke that, can we put another one underneath? There we go. So it's almost like a robotic arm rising up like that, like a little assistant robot. And I think that could work really, really well. Okay, wait a minute. There we go. Whoops. There and there. Well, that doesn't look all that great, but this one looks pretty good. I like it. I like the connection there. I think that works very well. And we could put a little cauldron and hopper along both sides of that so that as it's working on the next suit, which is actually right here, where's the decorations? So kind of as he's designing things, they would obviously over time assemble over here, and that's where he would utilize them. So I think that could work really well. And then additionally to that, I wanted to use some red carpeting to create a little area, which I'm trying to think now where to put that area. I think I kind of just want it to be like right next to it. And this is his like little testing area. Once he actually puts together a design, he then tests it out over here. Like, he'll place the design and then wear it and then this is almost like the thing that he would film, you know, like he has a camera activated from over here. So let's think of something that could resemble a camera. I'm thinking of using maybe a button. That could work, but I'm also trying to look through the other items that are available to us to see what kind of other things we can use. I heard Minecraft 1.9 is going to introduce shields and stuff, and some of the items that are in there would definitely be helpful right now. But let's see. Could we... Oh, we can't even put a button on here, can we? Okay. Oh, there we go. That actually works because it's almost like a little camera that slides out from the ceiling to film everything. And I think it would be kind of cool to put a couple of those. I don't want them to be that way. I want them to like face us. Can you turn that or no? Okay, it's kind of interesting because I like the way that it looks here. You see? So it's weird. Why can't I do that over here? That's kind of odd. Is that because of the way that the blocks are placed? Like if I place this block to be like that, then the button will put the way that I want it to. I wonder. Let's see. If my theory is correct, where's the block that I just replaced? Nope, my theory isn't correct. Oh, wait. Nope. Okay, I guess it isn't incorrect. Okay, I thought maybe there's like a difference between the way that the block sits. Okay, not really sure what actually changes that, but that's a cool little notion there. And you know what? Since we've carpeted the rest of the floors, we might as well go ahead and carpet this floor as well. Except, let's go with a white. No. Let's go with a nice gray, rugged color. I wish, my idea initially was to put maybe like a little hot rod in here, but unfortunately, again, the actual room in here wouldn't allow for that simply because of the scale. Like, we just don't have the room for a vehicle. And again, I just don't see Tony as being a person that would be too cluttered, so I don't want to make this place feel like there's too many things going on. I kind of want it to be exactly what it is, and that's a laboratory, kind of a place that he comes to think and come up with new ideas and new designs or whatever it is that he needs to get done. This would be the place that he would visit to do exactly that. All right, so let's fill all this in. And the reason why I'm choosing a grayish color is because, again, for practicality's sake, I totally see Tony utilizing this kind of thing in order to, cover up any stains and, like, when he's using oils on all these different metals and such, and you don't want to have stains all over the floor, and if we have a white carpet, it would need to be replaced. So it's not very practical. Whereas a nice gray carpet, you wouldn't even see most of those stains, or at least not as easily if they're there. All right, so let's see. We're just going to go ahead and fill all this in. And I think that's actually going to make this little red spot right here, like this little testing area, stand out even more. At first, I thought of maybe putting up a sign to, like, indicate testing area and stuff. But then I thought, again, Tony would be like, that's kind of way too old school thinking. Like, I don't like that. Like, you'd be like, why would I sign things to let myself know what they are? He's like, nobody else is going in this room, only me. So I think that could work maybe if we're, like, at some point when I upload the map to share it, I could, like, indicate some extra things so that it's a little bit more clear. But for now, I think we're just going to keep it from the perspective of the characters that we're assembling this thing for. So nonetheless, I'm pretty happy with the way that this looks already. The one thing we could do... No, I don't think it's going to look good. I was going to say maybe put a banner, but I don't think that would look cool. I will, though, put just one thing, and that's maybe like a little medal that Tony has left over from his dad. And then I would want to have the little... No, I think that's going to be overkill. Never mind. Like, let's say that that's the one memory that he has from his dad. So it's almost like the only thing in this room that's personal to him, you know? Everything else is very cold and it's very technology-driven and things that are utilized for crafting and not very personal to him. But that's the one thing that he keeps in this room that is personal to him and kind of stays here as almost inspiration to keep him going. So nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Of course, this concludes the Avengers Tower, and this concludes our crazy build for this crazy structure. I can't believe that we are actually done, but this, of course, is also sad, but also exciting. Because on one hand, it's sad that we're actually done with it, and we're not going to be going back to it anytime soon. But on the bright side, it is exciting because that means that we can begin a new project. Now, what that project will be, I'm not 100% certain yet. I have a week to decide fully, but I also have you guys to help me decide. So if you have any ideas or suggestions for specific things that you would like to see assembled on Blitzvillage, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd definitely love to hear from all you lovely folks. With that in mind, of course, if you want to be featured on an upcoming episode of Blitzvillage, please don't forget to also tweet your submissions at me, which is at Blitzwinger over on Twitter. And as always, guys, don't forget to have an absolutely fantastic day. I'll catch all you lovely folks next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.